Hi guys, welcome back to another cooking video. Today I'm going to be making meatloaf and roasted potatoes for dinner tonight. If you like this video, please subscribe and share and leave your comments below. So I'm just going to get right into it. I'm going to be doing my meatloaf a little bit differently from anybody else that usually does meatloaf. So, please excuse it. I'm just kidding. Got some of my cheese and stuff. What I'm gonna be doing is this kind of differently way of meatloaf. I got a bowl and I got some ground beef chuck here that I'm going to use for the meatloaf, and some Jack Daniel's seasoning, nature seasoning, of course the butt rub, love that stuff, some whole oregano, dill seasoning, and not to mention basil, and an egg. I'm also going to be adding some Parmesan cheese into my meatloaf. Now, what you want to do is you want to make it to where it is good. Make it like I make it your own. It don't matter. However you want to make it, be free to make it. So, we're going to start off with the hamburger. Just going to go ahead and open this. And just dump that in there. Don't have to really touch it. Okay, so what I'm going to start off with is a little bit of Jack Daniel's seasoning. I'm going to use about a tablespoon. About a teaspoon and a half of that. I'm also going to add some nature seasoning. I'm going to use a tablespoon of that too. Just about. Okay, next I'm going to add the butt rub to it. I love this stuff. It gives it that smoky stuff. I would add about a tablespoon of all this, but to 2. I'm also going to be adding basil. I can get it open. It won't open on me. There it goes. Just grind this up into the meat. I'm also going to add whole oregano to it. Just about a tablespoon of each of the seasonings. You can add a little bit more if you want, whatever you please. Now, dill seasoning. I'm just going to add maybe about 2 tablespoons of this. Not too much because it's really salty, so we don't want it too salty. So I add about 2 tablespoons of that. Also have 1 egg that I'm going to be adding to this. And Parmesan cheese. I do my meatloaf differently. I like sometimes to put cheese in it. It gives it good flavor. This is fresh Parmesan. I'm just going to add like a tablespoon or a cup to that, cup and a half. So it will just get all that flavor to make it cheesy. Best part's coming. Now I'm just going to mix this all together with my hands so it will get nice and blended. It's gross, but this don't take about like 15, not even 15 minutes, maybe about 5-10 minutes to get it all mixed up and all your ingredients out. I also set my oven to 425 because I want it to cook a little bit faster than what it normally does. Alright. Now that has blended it up, it will look like this now. This is what it looks like. I'm also going to put it in this, but I'm going to layer my baking pan with foil so it won't stick so much to the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to lay it in it. I'll do the shiny side up. That way I can go ahead and just press what I need if I overdid it on the foil. And then flip it over because it makes these kind of edges where it'll catch the juice and stuff. So it will like look like this. So the foil won't be hanging over the pan or anything like that. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this meatloaf in here. And I'm just going to shape it any form that you want to shape it. However you want to shape it. I'm just going to press it down. Some people like to add crackers to a meatloaf, but I'm not a big cracker fan, hardly. I don't like crackers in my food or my meat. Now, the cheese, you can use any kind of cheese. If you want to use cheese, you can. It's optional. But I use cheese because it does bring out the flavor. I've used cheese so many times in this. It's like not even funny. My family loves it. So they say. All right, let me wash my hands here. Okay. Now, on top of that, you can leave it blank. Or naked, as I like to say. So now I already shaped it. I don't want to touch it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, where is it? Some ketchup on top of that. Now this is going to cook into it. You want it to. And this will make it brown. What I do is just drizzle it over. And then I'll just take my hand and just my clean hands and just rub it all over the meat. Okay. Next up, we're going to go ahead and put this in the oven so it can start cooking for about that 20-35 minutes or an hour. We want it to get start cooking. Now for the potatoes, I've shown you one that was mashed potatoes before. This time, I'm going to show you some onion potatoes, which is really good. I really like them. So I got that. I'm going to go ahead and put the cheese and stuff up so that way I can have some room up in here. Sorry about this, guys. Come on. All right. And here's the fun part. I normally peel these, but I'm not going to peel them because I'm going to roast them in a different way. So I'm just going to take a few potatoes here, good sized ones, all preferably the same size. If you don't, they won't cook very well. So I got like 3 good sized potatoes. They're this big. Get some potatoes out of that. If you want, we have a big family. Fix as many potatoes if you want. If you're a big potato fan tonight, you can fix rice or whatever else you would like to have with this meal. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wash these potatoes thoroughly off to get all that griminess off the skin. I'm just going to wash these potatoes really good because I'm leaving the skin on them. Now, the meatloaf will naturally give its juices off when it starts cooking But I like to add a little bit of oil to the bottom of it, so that way it won't burn the potatoes or have the potatoes stick or whatnot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get these potatoes here washed. So how have you guys been? You guys having a good day? I know I had a busy day today. I'm tired, but it will work. School, work, and now home cooking. Alright. So now that I got my potatoes all washed, I have 3 of them because they are pretty big. And I don't want to do any more than that. So I got another bowl here that I'm going to stick them in. And what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to cut these potatoes in half. Cut them in half again. And then just in chunks. It's okay. A lot of people do it differently. But like I said, you might want to do in chunks. That way they're even. Get them even so they would cook even to it. These are a lot of potatoes. So I'm just gonna cut these up. I cut them about like 1 inch to 2 inches. It depends. And if they're really big, I cut them in half. Because, like I said, you want your potatoes to cook evenly along with the meat. Because what you're going to do is you're going to put these potatoes in with the meat so they can start cooking and getting the flavors all together. So what I'm going to do here is finish cutting up these potatoes like so. Great. Move this out of the way. Let me see if I got some oil here. So I got some vegetable oil. Here is Cresco's. It says pure vegetable oil. I'm just going to use a capful on that. About that much. It's just a capful from the lid. And I'm just going to sprinkle this all on here. I'm going to get some onion soup, which looks like this. It comes in 2 packages. I'm going to just use 1 because it can get pretty salty. There's also recipes on the back. And that's what I'm doing basically now, but they did theirs in wedges. So, actually, I got my oil in here. I'm going to take my onion soup. I'm just going to dump that in there. And I'm just going to get a spoon and mix it all up. So it will look good. We want each thing covered and coated very well. You want that flavor of the onion soup. Yeah, what is that? Oops. So we just got each piece. Now what I like to do is I'm going to add a little bit of something on this when I put it. I'm just going to add a little bit of oregano to this, which I'm just going to sprinkle it on with the onion soup. Give it a quick toss here. And get it tossed. So now the potatoes look like this. You guys see. Covered in onion soup and all oily. Weird. Alright, so the next step is that since my meatloaf has been in there for a few minutes, I'm also going to take it out. Because I know it started cooking and it's okay. And I've got the potatoes here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my hands and just put them around the meatloaf. Just throw them around the meatloaf here. And pour them in a separate pan. You don't have to, but the oil is going to help the meatloaf cook here and everything. It looks good. This looks really good, guys. Like, really, really good. So now that I got a little bit of oil and onion soup, I'm just going to pour this all over this. Like so. And then I'm going to just take some raw onions and I'm just going to sprinkle it. I can get it open. My lid's stuck. And I'm just going to sprinkle this all over with the potatoes, what's left of it. So it'd be like onions and potatoes here. Okay, so now that's done. We're going to just stick that back in the oven. Let it cook for about, I don't know, I say about 30 minutes to almost an hour on it at 425. And this is what it looks like. 425. You got to be careful sometimes because it will burn, but 425 cooks fast. So if you're in a hurry, then it takes about maybe 30 minutes for that stuff to cook. Maybe the potatoes a little longer than the meatloaf, but that's okay. You want them to be soft and get all those good tasting juices from the meat onto the potatoes and stuff. So, sorry, you guys seeing everything in my house. It's just weird, but okay. Like I said, if there's anybody that has recipes that they want me to try or bake anything, please be free to comment what you want me to make or bake, whatever your heart desires. And I will do it. I will go get the stuff and I will cook it. That's my passion. I'm just gonna put these up real quick. If you also have any questions about anything, please comment that too. I'll be happy to answer them. Any questions at all. But like I said in the beginning, if you like this video, please share it, comment, and subscribe below. I will see you guys when it's done and show you what it looks like after it is all done and cooked. Have a good night. Bye.